In this one, I am referencing a piece called Knitting as Dissent, Female Resistance in America Since the Revolutionary War by Tova Hermanson. So moving forward in time to the Civil War. In the fall of 1864, Sojourner Truth, a proto-feminist and civil rights activist, traveled to refugee camps of freed people where she would demonstrate sewing, knitting, and cooking to teach people skills that might allow them to become financially independent. And obviously, in any war effort throughout our history, the work of women knitting to clothe soldiers has been incredibly important. Knitting was also a symbol of the suffrage movement in this time. Let's take, for example, Victorian activist Clorinda Nichols, who managed to become a member of Kansas's first state constitutional convention, where she demanded expanded rights for women. Paradoxically, deemed an unwomanly pursuit. Right, it was seen as mannish for a woman at that time to want to attend a political event like a constitutional convention. The entire time at the convention, Nichols had her knitting out and was working on it. And it's interesting because a lot of people have hypothesized she's not the only one who has done this, right? And we see throughout history that, again, men undervalue knitting as a craft. And when they see women engaging in something they see as domestic and cozy, woman's work, they tend to undervalue or underestimate the women that are connected to that knitting that they are observing. It's been hypothesized that Nichols' predilection for knitting as a traditional feminine pastime tricked male members into underestimating her and her crusade for more liberal property rights for women. Knitting as resistance, knitting as revolution, knitting as dissent, knitting as skillfulness, knitting as subversion, all connected to women throughout United States history. Paradoxically, though, knitting began to fall out of fashion, especially with younger women, after women gained the right to vote. It wasn't really until the Depression of the 1930s that we saw much more of a resurgence of knitting, and then really it boomed during the 1940s. Now, during both world wars, knitting was used as propaganda and to set certain expectations of women, which I find really interesting. There's a lot of imagery from both world wars of women knitting for soldiers at the front. And that work was really important